Alright, so here we are. My tank's been neglected for at least a week and a bit. It's just been at my empty apartment, so I've been feeding it every other day. We're gonna move it probably half hour away now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take half the water in there and hopefully be able to transport at least half back to my new house. Fish and water will go in that one. Spare water and decorations will go in that. The rest of the water can go in the drain. We'll pull up all our decorations and plants, put them in there. Everybody's still doing relatively well. We got the German blue ram, 6 or so rasboras, a couple of Siamese algae eaters, and zebra snail. And while we do this transfer, I'm also going to switch the rock substrate out for some sand substrate. I'm thinking I might look into some coolie loaches or something of the sort. Alright, so let's get this started. Okay, so I shut off my 2 filters. Neither of them are running, you can't hear them anymore. For this particular water change, I'm just going to use the old-fashioned regular vacuum, just because I need the water. I need to keep the water. I'll get that out of there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show you what the water level looks like in a second, how much I've taken out, how I did the fish. I'm going to remove the water to about half level, and then I'm going to pull my decorations, and then I'll scoop the fish once the water level is lower. It's usually just a little easier to do that. Okay, so I've drained just over half the tank. That translates into here, hold on, let me grab a light for you. Approximately half of a 5-gallon pail there, and you see the line there. That much of a, I think these are like 23 liter. No, I think they're bigger than that. Hold on. I'm not sure how big they are. It's just a regular size Rubbermaid container. And then, as you can see, all my plants are still in there. I'm about to pull those out. I will be putting them in this one. The fish will go in this one. I'm not going to film that for you because, well, we all know how long it takes for most people to catch fish. Once I have everything in the buckets, I'll give you another shot here. Thought I would give you guys a shot of the root system on one of my nubias. That was substantially probably the biggest one for sure. Pretty proud of that. And goes in the bucket with everything else. If you decide that you want to move your plants farther than like a half hour, you can, plants and fish, sorry. It's in your best interest to put the plants in with your fish, and then if they do decide to, they're not too stressed, they will make a certain amount of oxygen. That's the Valsinaria. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of root on there just because I wasn't uber careful when I took it out, but toss that in. The other stuff I'm probably need 2 hands for, so I'm going to pause you guys again. So the random potted plant I have in the front there has the biggest root in my whole tank. Let's see if I can get the full shot there. It's quite long, so that's awesome. The fish are all now in the bucket, and my tank, obviously, as you can see, is quite dirty from uprooting everything. It might be in your best interest, if you were to do this, to let that settle out before you scoop for your fish, depending how many fish you have. I could see them not too bad, so it wasn't too big of a deal. plants, rocks, all that stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain all this. I'm going to scoop all the rocks out. I'm going to take all the equipment off. I'm going to drain the tank completely and show you what that looks like, and then we'll pack everything downstairs to the vehicle. If you're going to do this for more than, well, I don't know, a few hours, it's in your best interest to put your thermometer in your heater in your fish container, but if not, it's not a big deal. Another good idea is to lower your temperature a little bit, which makes the fish a little bit, can't remember the proper word for it, but basically they just move a little slower, and that will keep you from having fish jump out of your container. So give me a second and I'll show you what it looks like all empty. So while you're draining your tank, I'm using my automatic one now. You can see it at the sink there. While you're draining your tank, try to dig yourself a low spot, right, like all the way to the glass, and have your rocks get higher to one side, and then you suck like 98% of the water out. Otherwise you're just going to suck water as far as you're touching your gravel, and then underneath your gravel is still going to be lots more water. So I'm actually going to have to show you guys the tank empty when I get home, because I didn't bring a bucket to move my rocks in. If it's too heavy, I'm going to have to find something right now, because I don't know if I'll be able to pack it, but otherwise I'm going to pull the rocks out shortly, right after the water's out of here. There it is. No more water. Also, it's a good idea to keep your filter media wet so you don't kill off all your good bacteria and end up recycling your tank. That's pretty much it. I'm going to see how heavy this is. I might pack it down like that, otherwise I'm probably just going to throw all these rocks and stuff in a garbage bag or something, and then next shot will be at the new house. Third floor apartment. Packed her all the way down. I do suggest that it's a two-man job to anyone doing it on their own. There's proof we're on the third floor, and I'll see you at home. Okay, last few frames before I run out of battery on my camera here. Fish are tucked nicely between the front seat and the dash, squished in there. That's all just random junk. Tank is extremely heavy. It's in the back seat of the car. Sorry it's so dark. It's like 11:30 here. Frame over there. And the plants and such. There. Filter media. And then from there, I'm just going to go home. I'm going to put this new fluorite black sand. That's what it looks like. It'll look something like that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, there you go. A couple bags of that in. I might filter out the big rocks out of my substrate that's already in there and keep the small stuff. And then set her up as normal. And I'll give you guys an update in a separate video what it looks like when that's done, but I'm gonna run out of battery here, so hope that helped, and happy fish keeping.